You know, it's an amazing thing, and I thank God every moment that for some reason, 20-something years ago, God took me to Israel, took us to Israel,
Right.
and in Capernaum, where Jesus did his ministry,
Yeah.
God opened my eyes and he said, I'm going to cause you to reread the Bible through the eyes of a Jewish Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, everything in the Bible takes on a greater meaning, a
Yeah.
deeper meaning when we
Yes.
understand what the Bible means in Hebrew.
Yeah.
Think about this. In the book of Revelations, God says he has made us to be kings and priests.
Right.
And the priest part we understand. We're
Yeah.
to tell the world about the Lord and tell the
Right.
world about Jesus being the Messiah. And we're to pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
Right.
But he said he's also made us kings.
Right.
You know, kings have power.
Yeah.
Kings have finances. And kings have the ability,
Yeah.
the power, the finances in their hands to protect their children.
Yes.
To make a difference
Yeah.
in their citizens' lives.
Yes.
God has made us
Oh, that's
kings and
good.
priests.
Wow.
The reason why he makes us priests is that we can come boldly before the throne of
Yeah.
God. But you
Amen.
said a couple programs ago, Tiz, sometimes we become so spiritually reminded, or spiritually minded, we forget to be earthly good.
Yeah.
And it's not enough just to pray for Israel.
Right.
Or to pray for children.
Right.
But we must do something.
Yes.
And you know, I want you to say something, but since we've left Israel, now you're seeing this a few weeks later, but I've been back from Israel for a day and a half.
Yeah.
Since we've left Israel already, rockets are falling in Israel. To save these children
Yeah.
is not something and you're watching this a few
Yeah.
weeks later, so rockets have already begun to fall.
Right.
We've already, on your behalf, given them money to build one bomb shelter.
Yes.
But we've got to do more. And this is something that we can't say, well, you know, when it's more convenient, I'll do it.
Exactly.
Because ISIS and terrorists don't care about convenience.
Yeah.
They're sending rockets in. They have chemical warfare. This is something we need to do now. And I feel this so strong. God has put these children
Yeah.
that have been so broken
Yes.
in our laps so that we can be their Shalak,
Yes.
their godfather
Yeah.
from America.
You know, there's a saying that Martin Luther King said, and he said that darkness can never drive out darkness.
That's right.
Only light can drive out darkness. And I know as God's people, you know, sometimes you look at the world, you see the news, and you're like, God, what can we do to make the world better? You know, there's so much darkness, there's so many things. And we can't certainly do everything, but we can do what God entrusts to us.
Yes.
And we can make a difference. And literally, the darkness that the enemy brought in this particular place, there is the ability through the love and the light of God to completely drive that out of these children's lives.
Absolutely.
And we're seeing that, Larry. And just, I want to say one thing about this. We're not just rescuing these kids and putting them in a safe haven. That is happening. But we are educating them.
Yeah.
We're giving them the resources. We are taking literally what the enemy meant for evil in their lives, and we are allowing God to use our lives to weave a beautiful, beautiful picture. And we're raising these kids up as leaders that are countering what was done to them
Yeah.
and what was done in the world.
You know, one of the great rabbis that Jesus would have studied under, Paul would have studied under back in the time of Jesus, right before the time of Jesus, was Hillel and
Yeah.
Gamaliel.
Yeah.
And Hillel had a great saying, if not now, when?
When?
If not me, who?
Who?
And that's what God is saying right
Amen.
now. Just think about this.
Oh, what a
I have
privilege.
never said this in almost 40 years of ministry. God's calling you to be a God father, to be God-like
Yeah.
to these children. You probably will never meet them here on earth because it's a very restricted area. These kids come from a broken life that no child should have to go through, but you can make a difference.
Amen.
You know, I say this all the time that it's a terrible thing to say, but one of my favorite spots in Yad Vashem, in the Holocaust Museum in Israel, is right before you go into the Holocaust Museum for Children.
Yeah.
And in that Holocaust Museum, all it is a reflection of light 1.5 million times, because that's how many children during the Holocaust were killed by Hitler. 1.5 million children. And there's a statue right before you go in about a man who saved these children, or didn't save these children's life, literally died with them. But it's a quote from ancient Jewish wisdom, and it says, "He who saves one life, God sees it as if you saved the whole world."
Yeah.
Would you take a child in your lap and say, "Pastor Larry, Pastor Tiz, in this lifetime, I may never get to hold those children or put an arm around them. Let Tiz and I do that for you. We're allowed in there. But would you take one of these children in your lap and say, because what Jesus has done for me, let me be a godfather.
Yeah.
Father, you can trust me
Yeah.
to be your Shalak."
Amen.
You know, we didn't choose to live in America or England or wherever we live. But wherever you're living, chances are rockets aren't falling in your country.
Yeah.
But they are there. God's called you. In ancient Hebrew, there's no word for coincidence. It's not a coincidence you're watching this program. God's called you to be his Shalak.
Yeah.
Jesus says, "As my Father sent me."
Amen.
Everywhere Jesus went, peace.
Yeah.
As my Father sent me, now I send you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the call of God. Thank you
Thank you.
for being these children's Shalak. Welcome. Thank you
Yeah.
for being a God Father,
Thank you.
a God Mother. We love you. This is Larry and Tiz. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.